Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left. The clock just now showed 25 minutes, but the organizers decided to cut 10 minutes off our time. Okay, so suddenly, from 25, the countdown has begun to 15. So what I will do is, instead of moderating some discussion and then having your questions, let me try and integrate both of those. Uh, so first of all, the first question which came, why so little money which is getting into to funding companies here in India? Okay, and perhaps may I request from the audience, those who want to ask questions only related to this topic, can I have some of your comments, maybe your experiences where you've tried to raise money and what worked, what did not work, and so on. And then perhaps a few of the panelists can address those. Okay, anybody from the audience? Right. So you attempted to raise money, you raised it? No? Yes?
Well, I have done that.
Wonderful.
My question is to Mr. Kanakia on his admitted notion of controversy. So it's a very bold idea that you don't need government support, fabs, etc., etc. You just need.
We'll come to the fab related issue. Can I first talk about the money part of it? Okay, any questions pertaining to the money part?
Not especially for me.
All right. So, perhaps let's just stay with this and we will come back to the fab question, okay? That's on my list and a very important issue.
So let me ask the question. Let me ask the question on the money part, right?
Right.
The thing is, raising money is a function of your ideas and a team. And what I find is in the last 1.5 years is that there aren't sufficient number of people who come up to me and say, I'm going to change the world and here is my idea. And let me give you one simple example of it. I took 40 slides and went to the VCs around, no product behind me, no team behind me. I said, Cisco currently makes a 1 gigabit top speed throughput. I have a product here which will do 40 gig at a fraction of their cost, 10 times cheaper, 10 times faster. I don't see a similar proposals coming out of it. So how do I fund them?
Okay, perhaps one of the entrepreneurs would like to comment on this. That we don't have that vision, the big vision, the really making big things happen.
Actually, I'm not sure about that, Hemant. Actually, at least from Ineda perspective, we are looking definitely more than $1 billion market. Actually, so it is a big idea, and at least few of the other startups I'm aware they are going that route. But I definitely see the sign that the number of startups going in that kind of direction is definitely coming down. So probably you're talking about maybe 10 years back, there were a lot more startups in that model where they have a breakthrough idea and with big revenue potential. I think nowadays definitely that is coming down, but it's still out there, at least.
Yeah, but you are raising money in the valley, or you have raised money in the valley.
Exactly, yeah. We're looking at value.
Okay,
Right.
so what about the problem here? Um, and therefore, let me move on to the next part of the questions, which are to do with ecosystem, because there was a lot of discussion here about creating the right ecosystem. That what are some of the key success factors that will make the ecosystem happen? So perhaps can I again have some questions which are to do with the ecosystem, and we'll come to the fab. Don't worry, we'll address that. But anything to do with the ecosystem, people have suggestions as to what should be done. Okay, so yeah, please.
I have an indirect question. I think, in Silicon Valley, typically, what makes startups tick, the reason why you have so much activity is there are exits. So, the whole process is fueled by greed, and greed is good. So, the VCs benefit, especially the founders benefit because they're taking a risk and they're getting outsized return. Maybe they're getting 40x what they would have gotten if they had just worked for a living, right? So I guess one of the questions is, this touches on both the ecosystem as well as the former question that you asked. Are there exits here? Is that something that is required. For example, even without IPOs in Silicon Valley, a lot of companies end up being acquired by a Google or a Cisco. So maybe part of the question that I have for the panel is, do you see successful exits happening? Do you see that as being possibly an impediment to putting more money in?
Okay, so if some exits happen automatically, that will start triggering more money coming into this area. Good question. Yeah, there is one more question that we have.
Sorry, this is slightly related to the previous question. Is it
Okay.
okay? Basically, what I look in Indian context, most of the proposals that come across, which I try to have sort of intermediary for that, are related to getting technologies that indigenize some products. For example, what I'm looking at is making a cheaper setup box for the TVs. Good business, but then it doesn't give any earth-shaking technology, nothing new. What we have seen, especially venture capitalists from US, or Valley you call it, they are looking at something which is, as Hemant mentioned, something which is bringing a huge change, a kind of a big change in technology, a big change in the whole business concept.
Sure. So again, smaller
So
vision.
my question, bringing it short again, is which kind of capitalists, venture capitalists, help in this domain where you want to make things cheaper and make it suitable to Indian business, but then there is big volume there.
Okay, so just looking at the domestic market and just focusing on the domestic market, but a cheaper sort of a product. Okay, so yeah, Hemant bhai.
With my answer, I'm going to be driven out of Bangalore. So, we talk about the ecosystems in Silicon Valley, and I submit to you that the ecosystem in Bangalore and Pune and Noida and Gurgaon is far from being a Silicon Valley, not because there is not enough VC, not because there isn't enough entrepreneurial culture, but I think that's because we don't have enough emphasis on technology. Let me actually illustrate that question, right? I have given these talks about the success I had in building a new generation of router over the last 5 years in countless places within India. Not a single place have come up to me and actually asked me a question on, so exactly what did you do that made it so fast? Or nobody has asked me a question of it which says, that was done. What is the next new challenge that is going to be happening in routers? What is going to be that's going to breaking Cisco's back? How do I do it? I don't see that question. Until you have that curiosity, until you have that killer instinct, you aren't going to create a Silicon Valley.
Nitin.
I think to answer your question, I think exit is not limited by India itself, right? If you look at today, I raised money from UK, right, which is not Valley, not India, right? And there are all possible exits available. So I don't think VC activity or getting the funding done is limited by exit here. If you have the right technology and right model, you can exit. There are lots of possibilities. Think about what is happening right now. Google buying Motorola is like software company, search company buying a telephone company, right? And nobody would have thought about this probably 10 years back. They might just fund the hardware for the sake of making money on advertising, right? So there are a lot of interesting exit scenarios happening, and if you look at next 10 years, you will see a lot of companies buying completely into different verticals, right? We didn't think about HP getting into networking business or Cisco doing server business just 5 years back. So I don't think exit is limited by India as such.
Right.
Getting exits. So
Yeah, that not enough exits have happened, but then, the first question was that not enough investments have happened. So, for an exit, an entry is first required. Okay. And there were people who believed that exits would happen in the software export business. There were people who believed that exits would happen in the BPO industry or the ITES industry or in the internet e-commerce business or the mobile apps. And because people believed, yes, at some stage exits will happen, and that exit will then spur a whole lot of investment coming into fresh ventures. Okay, I have got 5 minutes left. So let me move to the next part of the question, which was to do with the government, and that's where the issue about Foundry, as well as the issue about, I think that was a very provocative statement that Hemant Bhai said, which he said that, I think, but for some few tax support and so on, we actually don't want too much from the government. Okay, and from some of the speakers, I also did hear an extreme position that we need to sort of work on corruption, we need to work on IP laws, we need to work on a whole lot of different kind of things in order to ensure that investment happens. So can we have some more questions, short questions pertaining to this particular issue, as well as, of course, the Foundry related question, and then we'll try and answer those. Any comments, any questions? Oh, yeah.
In his presentation, Balaji mentioned about giving focus on more on designing activities rather on fabs. Although what we believe and discussing since morning, now time has come probably give more focus to install some fab bases over here in India. So my question is, I think to all of you now, what are the 3 top priorities we look from government? Top 3 actionable points coming other than the policy from the government to enable this fab happens as fast as possible.
Okay, so usually, we guys poll the audience, but glad somebody wants to poll the people here. So perhaps who would like to first go, and would you like to address this entire issue? And then perhaps Vijay.
I think one of the points I highlighted even in my presentation, I think a strong ecosystem to encourage more product startups is definitely missing.
What can the government do specifically in terms of creating that?
So, for example, what I hear from some of the other countries like Russia and all, for example, they are going to set up this innovation center of excellence where they are going to have the required compute infrastructure, all the IP and the EDA tools and everything. So you can actually go and execute most of your project to at least a prototyping state, and then actually start looking out for funding, and you actually shorten most of the hassles faced by a standard entrepreneur. Especially the seed level funding is the most difficult piece. So definitely that is going to create more people coming out and jumping onto this train, and hopefully few of them will work out for better results on the product side basically.
Okay. Vijay.
So one of the things that we're looking into is how can the government set up, like I said, some sort of a research fab like the IITs have, and allow other private industries to train the people. One of the huge problems that we're going to have, even if you have, suppose if you have all the money in the world and all the equipment, the people, the training, the discipline that's needed in the fab, it's not there. And you cannot import people to run these fabs. So we have to have people in India trained much before the fab come in place. And that's something we're trying to address. Okay.
All right. So in terms of government, we need an innovation center. We need them to ensure that enough people are trained. Nitin?